what's going to happen when we're out of our current stock of product that has either been legally imported or illegally or smuggled? Because even if you look at the smuggled product, which is rice from places like Togo, Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Ghana, most of these countries have closed their borders. So even the smuggled rice is not going to come in. Now, if you look at local production has been dwindling. We're restricted to one cycle, which is just the rainy season, because most of the subsistence farmers can't afford the dry season farming for irrigation. So this is the time to plant. But then you have this lockdown going on. You have banks not giving credit. That's if they ever give credit. You have Ankobora, which is pretty much stifled because no one's really going to the office. So you begin to ask, what's going to happen 6 months, 12 months down the line with food production? Even if Nigeria chooses to import rice, what we usually import from will be Thailand and India. These two countries are locked down at the moment, again being faced by the whole coronavirus pandemic, and they're also not going to be producing. And I suspect that they'll probably choose to hoard their own product for their own consumption. So what then? Where does that leave Nigeria? Even if we did want to import, with dollar now at 4.15, I'm not even sure that we can afford to import this product. So the real question is, what do we do? Are we focusing on the right things? Should we only focus on dealing with the pandemic at the moment, or should we run this concurrently? Should we also focus on production at this point? Because I think worse than the pandemic is when people are hungry, what you're going to see in the next few weeks, few months will be unbearable, because we are a poor country. We're not a developing country. We're an underdeveloped country. And the moment we start to realize this, then we also realize what we're dealing with. It's crazy that we have to have this conversation, but it's imperative that this conversation holds, and it holds very, very, very quickly. If the government is going to have to put out any intervention, it has to look at food production now, not in 2 months' time, not in 3 months' time, now. By next month, farmers need to be planting. Do they have everything they need to plant to be able to produce for the entire country? This is the question we're asking now. Do you understand? And it's important that we get answers before we find ourselves in a whole different issue. I just hope this doesn't make me unpopular in bringing up issues that are not directly related with what people are currently dealing with. But this will be the phase 2. The first phase is the pandemic, the virus. The second phase is the economy, right, of which agriculture falls under. So I hope that this will get people thinking a bit more beyond just the pandemic, but also towards the effect of the pandemic on the entire country, on production. I'm talking mainly about my own industry because this is what I know about. I'm not going to delve into other issues I'm not an expert in. So it's just for us to start thinking, what can we do? And just to add to this as well, has anyone ever really thought of the effect of Chad paying Angola $100 million with cattle? Most of the cattle we consume here comes through the Sahel, right? Which means it passes through Chad. What will this payment over the next 10 years mean for cattle supply to Nigeria? It may be nothing, but it may also be something, right? And I think it's also an issue that we must consider. You understand? You never know what you have until it's gone. If we believe today that for one reason or other we can do without cattle, wait until there's no cattle in the country. So these are all thought-provoking questions or issues that we must ponder on. And I hope that with this video, I just get people thinking in a different direction, slightly in a different direction, just so that we don't find ourselves in another ditch. Thank you.